Welcome to Crochet ADHD. I'm your host, Jackie. If this is your first time to my channel, I consider you a one-hit wonder. I am so glad that you're here. If you are a repeat offender, a member of the GlamFam, let me ask you this. Do you have any gray poupon? Y'all, I have been getting a kick out of just thinking about all the old awesome commercials from the 70s and 80s. So I hope that y'all are jiving with that too. Today is the monthly roundup, or as I am lovingly calling, the LP, the March LP. I'm going to go over my whips. I'm going to go over my FOs. I'm going to go over my dreams, thoughts, and inspirational ideas for the coming month. Buckle up. Starting with my FOs. I have made a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot. I have made, I think, 5 or 6 yarn cozies. They are fast, they are easy, they use up scraps, and they are very, very functional. So here, and here, and here. There are some patterns for yarn cozies. They are free on Ravelry if you are interested in that. I will link the one that I started off with. I'll put it in the description box, and I'll put the name of the pattern I used across here. So, I have made 4 amigurumi pieces. I think I had told this story in a previous video, but my youngest daughter, Bob, had an amigurumi bead that I made a couple of years ago that she had hanging from her rearview mirror, and she asked me to make her a new one because Louisiana's son was just not kind. So I made her one, but he was big. So then I made another one. And apparently when I made the other one, I had forgotten that Bob's best friend also had a bee that I had made for her. And if I was going to upgrade Bob's bee, then her best friend needed a new bee also. So hence the second, technically the third bee. And Not Hetty has been feeling very nostalgic lately and stumbled across something on her Instagram. Actually, it was Miffy, the bunny from Miffy and Friends, which was a cartoon that came on in the early 2000s on Noggin. Y'all, it's so funny because I'm nostalgic, you know, obviously for my childhood. So my first born child, he was born in the 90s, and his childhood consisted of Barney, Power Rangers, and Batman. Like, those are the 3 things that, oh, and Johnny Bravo, but okay, wait, let me take that back. Barney, and then Cartoon Network as a whole, because he loved Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory. I just went blank, but I remember those 2. And then Power Rangers and Batman. And to this day, my son still loves Batman and the Power Rangers, every kind of incarnation there are of Power Rangers. Yeah. I get nostalgic when I hear old Barney songs. It's weird. So with my younger 2, they were in the Dora and Oswald and just everything that came on Noggin. Do you remember Noggin before it became, I think it was Nick Jr. that was part of Nickelodeon, and then Noggin was a separate channel. Do you remember when I'm really trying hard not to go off on a tangent here because, again, a lot of my children's childhood still, the memories are here. Like, I can remember Little Bear. I loved the cartoon Little Bear. Y'all, I would watch it without my kids. because Little Bear, there's something about like just it was so slow paced and quiet. And I think, you know, looking back on it now, because I can do that 20 years later, I'm thinking that it was probably supplying dopamine to me, because it would allow me to calm down and I could focus. And it was, again, it was the slowest show. It really was. Miffy and also Maisie, all of those cartoons were not, they didn't have a lot of background noise. It wasn't a lot of, you know, action, and I just loved it. And the only thing I can remember that was this like over the top for them was Dora. Dora drove me crazy. At any rate, so I made, I knew I was going somewhere with this. So I crocheted her a Miffy bunny. Now Miffy doesn't have a face yet because I am waiting for some eyeballs to show up, and then I'll finish it. But Not Hetty loves her. Even without her face, she loves her. So she's like, I'm going to need you to make like 40 more. I looked at her and I said, Miss Hetty's beautiful shawl. That was a March finish. This was, I feel like I've already shown y'all this. This was a March finish, and my monthly inspiration shawl here. That's all I have written down, but y'all, I am fairly certain I finished more than that. At any rate, we're gonna go on to whips. So March, the testing continued, and I actually, before I get into the testing, I want to talk about this. I loudly and proudly announced that I was going to be making the Sagebrush Tea by Grace for the Frills last month. And I was so excited, and I showed it to you and I said, it is lovely. And I was making it out of the Holst Coast duck egg color, and the Coast is 55% lamb's wool and 45% cotton. And I'm holding 2 strands together, and I've gotten this far. Okay. I said it before. Read the patterns all the way through before you stitch a stitch. I know I am tasked with the challenge of trying to recreate this exact piece in order to finish this top. It ain't looking good. I never, look, I couldn't even, let me see. Okay, look at that. Side A, left side and right side don't even match. And I'm supposed to make a front and back that match? Y'all. See, the rebel in me wants to continue on making this ziggy zag stitch, because see, it's like front loop. It's front loop. No, it's back loop. Half double crochets. And I just kind of want to keep going around and make it one piece. I hate making 2 separate pieces. I really, really hate it. But the good part about this is, when I showed you it before, I have no idea. Oh yeah, when I first showed it to you, I was so excited about it and had to frog it back because it was wrong. But the fabric, look at the it's nice and drapey, and I know that once it's blocked, like all of these stitches are going to fill in nicely, and it's not going to be gapey or see-through, and all of those things make me happy. I knew it was too good to be true, because I was so happy with things that were happening, and I will keep y'all up to date. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, started testing for, oh goodness, Yarn Crafts by Nicole, and her shawl. It's a wrap shawl. It's called the Honeymooner shawl. Nope, it's called the Honeymooner wrap. She has a YouTube channel. I'm gonna put that right there. I love her YouTube channel. I love her YouTube channel. Y'all should check her out. This is as far. Okay, so this is one end. So this is as far as I've gotten. But technically, no. I actually had gotten this far only to find out that I had been dropping stitches. So, you know, Kermit came out and we went back, and then we worked some more. And then Kermit had to come out again, and we went back. And let me tell you what I love about this shawl pattern. I mean, and not just about the shape or the style of the finished project. What I loved most is during the test, there was so much input from the other testers that the designer was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yes, 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 yes. There was so much positive energy amongst the group where it almost felt like we were building this thing together, if that makes any sense. It's like, again, it is her pattern, but the voice of the testing community can be seen, because, you know, comparing the original pattern to what will be the released pattern, it's amazing because little details were added in that I think would help a person that's not familiar with reading patterns, a person that is new to crochet, a person that, again, just kind of struggles with reading patterns. Like a thing that y'all know I love it is if there's a thing where it says, you know, repeat rows 9 to 7, repeat rows 9 to 20 14 times or whatever, she's included a little chart so that, you know, when you do the first repeat, you click, 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 click. You do the second repeat, tick, 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 so that you can keep up with the number of repeats that you've done. That honestly should be like, that should be standard issue on crochet patterns. Now, again, I don't know if that's an ADHD thing for me, because I will get lost, y'all. I will get lost. I get lost so easily. Even when one line is like single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, star, repeat twice. It doesn't take much. And that's really, it's really frustrating that it doesn't take much for me to lose my way. And I was watching, so on Instagram, I follow a lot of retro accounts, you know, like, again, from 70s and 80s. And they were showing a cartoon that was on Sesame Street. It was a little girl. Her mom sent her to the store. And her mother said, I need you to get a loaf of bread. What did she say? A loaf of bread, a sack of potatoes, and a stick of butter. I don't remember what she was supposed to get. Anyway, and the mom's like, you want me to write that down? And the little girl's like, no, I'll remember. And she's saying that it's 3 ingredients, and she's saying it all the way to the store. And I was like, this is so cool. But do you know, from the time that the mom said it to the little girl, to the time the little girl's walking out of the house, I forgot the 3 items. That's how quickly my mind just, and then she's singing the song all the way to the store. A loaf of bread. It's not a sack of potatoes. I don't remember what it is. I'm so mad right now. I just watched this video last night. Anyway, so let's just say it's a sack of potatoes. It's not. A loaf of bread, a sack of potatoes, and a stick of butter. And she's saying it. She says it like, I don't know, 12 times. She gets to the store and the man's like, can I help you? And she says, yeah, can I get a loaf of bread, a sack of potatoes? It's not what she said. And she couldn't remember the last thing. And I'm like, butter. I just remember butter. And I'm like, that was a conversation between me and my mother, and I can't believe that somebody had the nerve to film it and then broadcast it to the world and then do it again another 40 years later. That's just rude. But anyway, I forget really easily is the point. I'm not sure where I was going with that. But anyway, this is the Honeymooner wrap and it should be released soon. My next test pattern is called the Fiery Opal. It is a Tunisian shawl by YARNVIP. Now, y'all know I love YARNVIP. This shawl, when it grows up, I'm sorry, even as a whatever stage of life this is right now, it is gorgeous. There we go. Now I'm making this. This is out of the WonderlandYarns mock turtle, and this is the nonsensical narrative. So it's almost like the opposite of the shawl that I did for my inspiration shawl. So that one had more of the nonsensical narrative and flashes. Y'all, I'm not even, it's fingering weight, and there's a design that is showing up slowly through these stitches, and her pattern, there is no like repeat row 5. Every row is written out. There are repeats within a row. And yes, that has been a challenge. I've had to, I have been kissing a lot of frogs this last month. I'm not even gonna lie, not making an excuse. That's just how it is. Lots of frogs. This pattern is so beautiful, and it is so intricate and very detailed. And as I had said before, being sick has not boded well. I did not fare well while I was sick. Crocheting intricate things I should not have even attempted to do, but I did because, you know, I'm a rebel. I'm a little slow on this particular shawl, but it is beautiful, and I believe it's set to be released maybe sometime in May. Really, it is a beautiful, beautiful shawl. This next one is a cardigan, and this is a cardigan that's made in pieces, but it's not unfamiliar to me. It's made almost similarly to the way that the cardigan I made for my husband was, where you make the back and then you add the front flaps, whatever, and then there's some other stuff that's going on in there. And I'm making this out of Premier Nordica in the colorway Olive. If y'all remember, Nordica is the one that if you knit, it is supposed to give you this pattern, which is, I fell in love with this. And I can remember I was watching, it was one of the very first Cinnamon Stitches video I'd ever, one of Jennifer of Cinnamon Stitches. It was the first video I had ever seen from Cinnamon Stitches. Whew. And it was announcing the Hobby Lobby clearance sale from 2021. And she showed this yarn and I raced. Like, I paused the television, put on my shoes, grabbed my purse, and raced to Hobby Lobby looking only for this yarn. And I got all of it. This was $2.24. So I've had this in my stash for 2 years. I have tried several times to make many different projects with this yarn because I have this colorway. I have a blue, I think it's called Harbor something, and I have a one that's like a rusty color. I don't remember what it's called. Yeah, this cardigan pattern. It's called the Understory cardigan. It is, you can do it in solid colors, or like the sample cardigan is done in a fade. So I was like, okay, this to me seems like the perfect time to use this. So I've been working on this for off and on for about 2 weeks, and I love how easy this is coming together. But look at this. Wow! And look at this. I mean, it's making something, but it looks like something. You know what I mean? Even though it doesn't look like the design on the label, it's still looking like something. And I'm going to have a cardigan that fits. Because I don't have to hack it or nothing. I don't have to hack it or nothing. And look how pretty. I mean, it's so funny because up close, it doesn't look like anything. But when I hold it back like this, I'm very impressed. This is going to be so beautiful, y'all. Oh my gosh. Now, if y'all aren't familiar, this is 100% anti-pilling acrylic, self-patterning design. I'm not sure if they still make this. The only place I'd ever seen it was either the Premier website or Hobby Lobby, and you know, Hobby Lobby got rid of everybody that wasn't a Hobby Lobby brand. So it is a lightweight number 3 4mm crochet hook. And I even tried it with Tunisian crochet, and when you do Tunisian, it does mimic when you do the Tunisian knit stitch, I should say, it does look similar to this design here. I'm so excited. And this right here is easy, no brain. You can, I mean, I could practically fall asleep with this design because there's nothing to it. It's the same stitch the whole way through. So I can't wait to get to the next part, but it's been easy. It's been amazing, easy peasy. I wish I would have, the signups for that would have been earlier in the month. That way I would have had something to work on during, you know, the height of my whatever. And maybe I wouldn't have had to frog so much of the other projects, but it is what it is. And I think this is my last work in progress that we're going to talk about. This I decided to hook up and decided to make simply because I don't know. Deep stash dive, by the way. I have had these yarns in my stash, I kid you not, at least 10 years. At least. The first yarn is Simply Cotton Sport in the colorway Malted Milk. It's 100% cotton, organic cotton. It's 164 yards and calls for 2 to 4. No, I don't know what that is. Number 2 or number 4 needles, whatever. This is a number 2 weight. The other yarn is Comfy Soft. Okay. Comfy Soft. This is also a number 2. Come on. It's also a number 2. This one is 75% Pima cotton and 25% acrylic, 136 yards. And it's in the colorway Flamingo. Once again, with deep, deep, deep inspiration from Grace for the Frills and her, what is it called? The holiday cardigan? I don't know. The original one, I believe, is in DK, but I hacked it successfully hacked it to work for a sport weight. And here is what I have gotten so far. And I am striping the Malted Milk and the Flamingo all the way down. At first I was just going to do stripes, just like, you know, a couple of rows here and then do like a big block of some other color, or some other color. Do a big block of one of the colors and then an edge in the other. And then I was like, no. But I like it. It's raglan, which I like. It's stupid soft, which I like. Now the Pima, the pink is a little softer than the Malted Milk, but not so much that it doesn't feel like they belong together. And I still have, I'm still having issues with the joins in the back. That just, it irritates me. It's because I keep trying to do something that apparently I'm doing wrong. I should just stick to the status quo. Okay. Now, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do, or what I'm going to do as far as the sleeves, because I do want it to be a short sleeve. Oh, I keep forgetting that I'm covering up the mic. I don't want it, I might give it like a little bit of a sleeve, but you know, I don't want sleeves because this is supposed to be my spring tee. It's supposed to be the first of many warm weather crochet makes by moi. So I've tried it on in two different stages, and I'm hoping that it won't be something that I have to wear something underneath. So this is this. Is it on my make 9? No. Am I going to count it? Oh yeah. I said I wanted to make a t-shirt. This is a t-shirt. And I have fallen in love with raglan style tops. They are easy, and from what I have heard, raglans are apparently the easiest type to adjust for, you know, if you have bigger arms than bust, or if you have bigger bust than arms, or, you know, you got a thick neck, whatever, you can do a lot of adjustments. And I have actually found that to be true, because that is what I have been doing with this particular one since I went from is it worsted? Okay, so I used the pattern. Oh, all right. The Bougie Betty sweatshirt used that pattern, and that was using number 4 weight fisherman's wool. Then I made the, what did I call her? I don't remember. You know, I made it out of DK weight. It was a short sleeve, you know, it was the melon with the brown and green stripes. No, blue, whatever. That was DK, same pattern. And now this, which is in a sport weight, same pattern. I remembered, I wrote down the adjustments I made for this particular version. So, and it's funny because watching the Grocery Girls, I think their last, or their, in one of the last three, one of their last 3 episodes, they were talking about how it's great when you find a pattern, like a top pattern or a sweater pattern that you can use over and over again, but you know, instead of making it long sleeve, you can make it short sleeve, you can make it quarter sleeve or bracelet length, which that's a new one for me. So 3/4 length, you can do all of this, right? That changes up the pattern. And you can have, you know, 5 black sweaters and they all look different because of, like, you change the neckline or the length of the sleeve, or it's when you can put in stripes or chevrons, or, you know, just to change everything about the sweater is still the same because it's still that same pattern, but you putting your little flair changes it up so much that, yeah, it's the same thing but yet different. And that might be what I have found in this particular pattern. I will put the name of this pattern right here in case y'all are curious, because it is an awesome pattern. I think I kind of ran my whips into my ideas for the future. That may be what I did. Thoughts for the future. My thoughts are, let's make tanks. Let's do tanks and tees. I'm pretty sure there is a make along somewhere that involves making tanks and tees, because it is tank and tee season for sure. I have a list that I'm going to put up in another video of my top 10 free spring and summer, spring and summer adult tops on Ravelry. So that will be a video coming soon. Oh, I left one off. So there'll be 11, but that's okay. So yeah, that was March. I was busy. It's funny because I felt busier than it looked like I was, but at the same time, I did more than anyway. So how was your month of making? How did it go? Did you get the things that you wanted to make made? If y'all are looking for a nice, well-priced yarn for your summer and spring and summer makes, I have to give credit here to Knit Picks. They're comfy. I don't know that they make it in the sport weight anymore, so I think it might be either like fingering or DK, but if you can get their comfy, which is 75% Pima cotton and 25% acrylic, if you can get that, get that. It is stupid soft. It is dreamy, and Pima cotton is just yummy anyway, but 100% cotton can bite you in the butt because it doesn't have any stretch. You know, there's no memory, so if you were to make something with it, it'll just stretch and then kind of keep stretching, which, you know, can turn a turtleneck into like a low cut U-neck shirt in no time. The acrylic, I think, is going to give it some of its buoyancy or its ability to not stretch and stay stretched. You know, it'll keep you decent, is what I'm saying. If you like this video, please like this video. If you want to wait, so I do have an account on Ko-fi where you can make donations to support this beautiful channel. You can also follow me over there as well. And I'm on Instagram. So if you join me on Instagram, that means that you'll be part of the GlamFam. The GlamFam. There we go. That's what we're going to call it. Okay. If you want to stick around and become a member of the GlamFam, you can do so by hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to rock that notification bell. Until next time, I've been Jackie.